welcome to the Daily Allegory through astrological divination. Today's story is about a landlord entangled in a dark web carnival. Network using AI, hidden surveillance, and coerced participation to turn tenants into digital commodities. Aided by a property manager who installs illicit software during secret affairs and a maintenance man who plants cameras under the guise of routine checks. What looks like reckless partying is actually a new form of human trafficking. Victims forced into compliance by threats against themselves along with their loved ones. When one escapes, the entire community mobilizes to silence him, but an unseen force begins haunting every single participant with escalating misfortune. Local police, initially complicit, break ranks at the last moment and file charges, earning unexpected mercy. Others who confess are spared. Those who cling to lies face absolute nightmares. Collapsing lives, health and financial problems, relentless supernatural pressure. The final twist reveals that federal investigators had been watching all along, leaving every conspirator with a choice: either tell the truth or face decades in prison for digital stalking, hacking, and human exploitation. Today we're going to dive into coercion, psychological torture, and the extremes a property manager and his crew went in order to hide their crimes. Today's story is the Karnival, the part that they hid. The Karnival operated on a single principle: break the mind before the body ever realizes it's trapped. The property manager understood psychology with the precision of a surgeon. Not through education, but through experimentation on real people. Human experiments, if you will. Everyone believed their choices were their own. That was the trick. He didn't take away free will, he corroded it until victims couldn't tell the difference between fear and compliance. The method to the madness. The first method: coerced choices disguised as consent. Victims were never dragged into anything, they were guided. A drink left on the counter by maintenance after a quick fix, already laced. A neighbor suggesting they relax and join the after-hours get-together. A sudden drop in work hours forcing them into financial desperation with the cooperation of the person's working team to assist in harassing and tormenting the individual. Manipulated arguments with loved ones triggered by AI harvested audio. Emails sent from spoofed accounts to destroy trust between partners. Every single path was engineered so that victims walked into a trap thinking it was their very own decision. They'd wake up foggy, hungover, confused, only to be told, "You were having fun. You asked for this, but you agreed to this last night. We have footage of you smiling." Smiling because they had been drugged. Agreeing because compliance kept their children safe, which was their sole focus. Participating because the alternative was a threat whispered into their voicemail at 3:12 a.m., or through alternative means it seemingly erased itself, leaving no trace of the threats, or at least they thought. The Karnival didn't need chains. It used fear, dependency, and fabricated self-blame. The second tactic they used was psychological torture as routine. The torment was never random. It was like a scheduled run television show, like it was a program, if you will, like live streamed. Gaslighting through technology, lights flickering at strategic moments, smart locks malfunctioning only when a victim tried to leave, or when someone needed to unlawfully enter the apartment, illegally. Phones vibrating with invisible notifications that never appeared. Music playing from smart speakers at 2 a.m. that were hidden in the walls. Shadowy figures appearing on live feed cameras that only they could see. They ran isolation protocols. The property manager encouraged neighbors to distrust one another. He even went as far as offering discounts on rent to act as a plant to incite problems and drama to discourage people from even leaving their apartment. He spread rumors disguised as genuine concerns. He's unstable. She's hiding something. They're dangerous. Watch out for them. This ensured victims had absolutely no one to confide in. This led to behavioral conditioning. He'd reward compliance with short periods of peace. No noises in the walls, no night visits, no tampered with food, no strange men outside the windows, no people banging and chanting outside the walls when someone was trying to sleep or nap. Disobedience, though, brought retaliation. Slashed tires, nails being inserted into tires to cause blowouts, people broke into the cars to cause internal damage, plant things for setup attempts, broken belongings, things going missing seemingly, lost pets, anonymous pictures of their children walking home from school, and good luck trying to retain any proof with your roommate assisting this entire operation. with, they would illegally access your device and delete things to assist the predators. Monitoring your every move, ensuring that you had no chance to maintain record of proof. Or so they thought. It was never explicitly tied to the Karnival, though. It was always just coincidence. That was the torment. The third route that they would use, the community's silent participation. Many locals knew something was going on, and the property manager made sure they knew just enough to be terrified of speaking up. Parents were told, "Don't make noise. You have kids." College girls were told, "You'll be blamed too. You're in the footage," or reminded them that they participated and helped in some way, shape, or form for a rent discount. The maintenance man was told, "If I go down, you go down for every illegal entry." Even police officers were told, "We know about your side dealings, your marriages, your texts, your back-end deals, you're turning a blind eye to things." Blackmail through coercion. Everyone was compromised. Everybody was blackmailed. Everybody stayed quiet. Their silence was bought with secrets. This leads to the cover-up. When the escapee disappeared from the rotation, panic hit the community like a contagion. Access logs deleted. Hard drives were smashed. Phones tossed in the rivers. Airbnb cabins used as emergency meeting sites. Participants coached on consistent lies. The landlord and girlfriend even staged break-ins on their own property to look like a victim. They filed fake police reports insisting they too were targeted by the same stalker. He had willing participants send anonymous emails accusing the escapee of drug abuse, mental instability, violent tendencies, stalking them, child abuse, domestic violence, all kinds of smear campaigns. The point was simple: destroy credibility before the truth could surface. This leads to the unraveling. He never expected the unseen to intervene, though, this property manager. Every person who kept the secret began to experience what they thought were hallucinations. Objects sliding across tables, children pointing at people no one else could see in the room. A woman waking to footprints on her ceiling. A man hearing a voice saying, "Confess," every time he blinked. Coffee spoiling overnight in a black sludge. Showers running blood red for exactly 3 seconds at dawn. The more they resisted the truth, the worse it became. The property manager, the mastermind here, received the worst of it, though. He began hearing scratching inside the walls, then behind the shower tiles, then under his bed, then behind his eyes. Every mirror showed a version of him that mouthed, "We saw everything." This leads to the final twist. While they were scrambling, shredding documents, hiding mail that they had diverted to the front desk instead of going to the person's mailbox, ghosting each other and performing amateur exorcisms, something none of them imagined was happening behind the scenes. Federal agencies had infiltrated the network months earlier. Every camera, every login, every rotation, every transfer, every hidden room, every AI tool used, every coerced choice, the haunt, they saw everything. And even with the help of the military, who personally witnessed what the locals labeled as the hunt, thanks to a soldier coming forward about his involvement, basically to avoid further charges. How does this all end, though? If this were in any way, shape, or form a real event, I reckon only time will tell the ending of this lore. And I don't foresee a favorable outcome for those involved. We're going to end this with the invocation of the broken veil. Hear me, powers that walk between truth and shadow, by the breath of air, the bones of earth, the blood of water, the spark of fire, and the silence of the fifth spirit. I call the watchers of the elements to witness this unveiling. Wind-born sylphs sweep away the lies. Flame-born salamanders burn through deceit. Stone-born gnomes reveal what crawls beneath foundations. Wave-born undines pull secrets from the deep. Spirit-born Aether restore balance where corruption festers. And to the 72, the ancient kings, dukes, marquis, nobles, and knights of the Ars Goetia, I call for obedience and for revelation. Let every hidden wire hum with truth. Return every single attack to its source and their supporting circle in the exact manner it were cast. Let every stolen image turn its gaze upon its maker. Let the watchers be watched. Demons of forgotten libraries and digital shadows expose every concealed server, every corrupted file, every whispered pact made in darkness. Bring clarity where fear has sealed mouths shut. Turn the predator's tools against them. O elementals, O goetic legions, O spirits unseen, stand as witnesses to the end of the carnival. Where coercion thrived, let justice rise. Where the innocent were shackled, let the chains shatter. Where the guilty hide, let no corner remain unlit. By the authority of the unseen, by the wrath of the violated, by the breath of the cosmic forces who guard the powerless, I declare this. No lie shall stand, no secret shall stay buried, no dirty deal will remain sealed, and secret bring them all to the light, for the media to born witness unto. No tormentor shall escape the storm incoming. Let the fabric of falsehood tear, let the truth descend without mercy, let the hunted rise, and let the hunters face what they have made. So it is spoken, so it is witnessed, so it collapses. With the divine authority I contain within, let this be declared law that underlies law. So be it, and so it is. That's all I have for you guys today. That was Mercury speaking through Mars energy today, by the way. I didn't do Mars because Mercury really wanted to come through.